I kind of want to move and purchase a new home with more property for many reasons. For many reasons. Hello, dearest friends, lovely people. So today I want to talk. I have a lot of things on my mind, and what better way to talk to everyone while starting seeds? I don't like the saying kill two birds with one stone. I always say we can save two birds. So today we are at saving two birds. We're chatting it up and we are starting some seeds. This Govi thermometer that I'm always talking about, it can measure the temperature. So I use this to track how it is feeling in the greenhouse. And right now it says it is 65 degrees. So this is where we are going to be hanging out at today. So let's go ahead and get started. I have everything set up and ready to go, but I just remembered that I've been bringing my seedlings outside back and forth as the weather warms up during the day, and I left them on the deck. So I need to go run and get those. Put them right here, and then we're gonna get started. Okay, finally, I got all of the seedlings in the greenhouse, and I went ahead and bottom watered everything. And did y'all see how those peppers are looking? They look so great. Oh, it's kind of wet because I'm bottom watering it. But oh my gosh, very, very, very excited about everything that is growing and everything that we have started so far. And in today's seed starting session, I'm going to tell y'all what I'm planting today. So I have some cucumbers. We have some squash, marigolds, which is the first thing I think I'm going to get started today. And we have a bunch of tomatoes, and I don't think I brought out enough trays. So if I run out, I'll run back in the garage and get those filled up, and then we'll continue. But let's go ahead and get started with those marigolds. These are the orange fire marigolds, and they need to be planted 1/8 inch deep. So I'm just gonna plop. I'm just gonna put two to three seeds in each little slot, and then we'll move on to the next one. I love how marigold seeds look. It's very interesting. I'm not growing that many marigolds this year just because I prefer the petunias. I said in one of my other videos, petunias are just prettier to me than marigolds. But I like these marigolds because they get really big. And they're also pretty too. Okay, next up we have the lemon cucumber. Love how this one looks. And we have the Marketmore cucumber. The Marketmore cucumber I grew last year. I always grow this one. And I usually grow more than one variety of cucumbers. But I'm just going to stick with one of these kind, your traditional cucumber, and then my different one is this lemon cucumber. And I grew this one last year, but not successfully. So fingers crossed that that I can actually get a harvest from it. All right, I grabbed those biodegradable pots that I prefer to sow my cucumber and squash in because they don't transplant well. So with these, you can just sow this entire thing into your garden bed or your garden, and they will disintegrate. And I've had really good success sowing like squash, cucumber. I do my melons in here too. because I want to get them started early. And since they don't transplant well, these are a great solution for that. And I'm going to go ahead and get a few sown in here. And then we can kind of start, I guess, talking about what's been on my mind lately. So I have said this before in my other videos that I love our home. I love the gardens that we have created. But I kind of want to move and purchase a new home with more property for many reasons. For many reasons. So not because I'm not grateful and, you know, filled with gratitude for what we have. I definitely am. But an issue I've been running into is that when it rains really heavy, our garden, it floods. And I know this issue can be solved, but in order to solve this issue, I am going to have to downsize my garden area, probably permanently, because the area that keeps flooding is the one, not the kitchen garden, fortunately, but everything like besides the raised beds I have along the fence, everything after that, it just keeps flooding when it rains. So we're thinking that we might have to do something else instead of growing flowers and things there, because you know, it just keeps getting flooded and things just keep messing up and it's not cooperating with us. And we've been dealing with this issue for years, and I think this year we're finally going to get it solved. But that means I'm going to be having to downsize my growing area. So I'm probably still just going to have the kitchen garden. So that's one reason why I wouldn't mind selling our home and buying a new one. Another reason is because if y'all watched, I did this video, me and Rodney did this video together a few years ago, is that we asked our county if we could have chickens. Because I really want chickens. I really want ducks. I want to get the chicken coop. I want to have all that. And so I emailed my county, and the response I got back was that it's such a weird response. Is the person said that if it can't be purchased at PetSmart, then you can't have it. And this is such a weird response, instead of like, you know, just saying, no, you can't have it. Because I used to work at PetSmart forever ago. And we actually PetSmart doesn't sell dogs. So what they do is they actually will host an adoption, like a place, like a shelter would come in and like use PetSmart as their like venue, pretty much. So PetSmart doesn't actually sell the dogs. We don't carry dogs. I'm saying we, like I work there anymore. They don't carry dogs, etc. So that's what I was thinking in my mind when she sent that email back. But PetSmart doesn't carry dogs, but you know, everyone has dogs. And the same thing goes with cats. PetSmart doesn't sell cats per se. They, you know, have someone come in and use PetSmart as their venue. They may hold the cats there, but you know, the sign will say this cat can be adopted through, you know, such and such, whatever shelter, whatever. But that was the response we got. Like, if it can't be purchased at PetSmart, then you can't have it. So, okay. I don't know. That whole response just rubbed me the wrong way. And I never forgotten about it. And this was back in, I can't remember when I made that video. 2022. I think 2023. Like 2 years ago, I made that video talking about that. Me and Rodney was just like ranting about us not being able to just do everything in the space where we are at. So that's like the other issue, is that I'm limited on what I can do. And I don't like that. I want to be able to do what I want, you know, within reason, what I want on the property that I own. And chickens and ducks is definitely one thing. I love watching people's garden videos and they have their chickens like running around in their garden. Oh my gosh. I'm a little bit jealous. Because in my county, if you're zoned agriculture, you can have the chickens, the people up the street from us. They are like right out of our neighborhood and they are zoned agriculture. So every time I pass them, I see the animals that they have in their yard. They have goats and things. Yeah. I guess it just keeps that vision alive inside of me because I'm always seeing it everywhere. Because I live in Georgia. It's country. Some people would say it's super country. I wouldn't say it's that country. But in order to get to our house, you see people that have goats, chickens, ducks. You see horses, people that have horses up the street too. So I don't know if that's considered country. I guess we live in the country. But I just would like to have that. I would like to be able to have that experience and, at least have the option, to do it. Third reason is that I guess, did I say this already? I want more growing space. I kind of want to have a larger cut flower area to grow. I love dahlias, and dahlias overwinter very well. I'm in zone 8 and they do very well. I've had dahlias growing right where the start of the kitchen garden for several years now. I need to lift them up and divide them. Excuse me. But I want to have rows of dahlias because they're so beautiful. And I'd love to cut them and share them and give them to people around me, give them to family. I feel like flowers are a good mood booster, and they have the power to just brighten your day and make you happy. And I'd love to grow more and be able to share that with other people. And the more flowers I grow, the more pollinators that come in. So that would be nice. Fourth reason why I would want to purchase a new property, a new home, is because I don't like that my kitchen garden is so far away from my kitchen. I would love, I was telling this to Rodney yesterday, is that I would love to be able to go walk into the kitchen. If I'm cooking, be able to open the doors. I'm picturing French doors. I love French doors. Or those big windows that you can slide. Have y'all seen those wall of windows? I'm sure y'all have. But I see myself opening the French doors or sliding the windows, stepping out, and right when you step out, you're in the kitchen garden. As soon as you step outside, you're in it. I don't love having to walk so far to get to it. So that's like kind of a dream. If we do decide to move, decide to sell, I feel like it'll be years from now. But having a space that I can turn into a kitchen garden, be right outside of the kitchen, would be really nice. It sounds so dreamy to me just saying that. If you have that, tell me how convenient that is. I'm writing all my labels now because since I'm talking, just go ahead and write in all these labels for the squash. And just like the cucumbers, I'm not sowing that many squash seeds because I've made the mistake of just growing too much squash, but it does allow me to give to other people, which is nice. So that's what's been on my mind lately, especially since I planted 100 and something narcissus or daffodils y'all saw in my video, and that area flooded again, and I don't think I think some are going to come up, but I feel like I might have lost a lot due to how bad it flooded. It was raining so much. It rained a lot. I actually don't think we have all these dreams and this vision that we would love to execute, but I don't think it would happen until maybe 3 to 5 years from now, maybe. All right, we have the squash next, and I always again, forget which direction that squash seeds have to be planted. I think it's the pointed end down. Let me see. With the pointed end or radical down. Yeah, like I said, pointed end down. Okay. And they need to be a 1/2 inch deep. I think that's about 1/2 inch. All right, and this one is the white scallop right here. I think I'm gonna just plant 3 each of these of the squash. Oh, these are huge. All right. So I'm gonna save these 2 extra ones for something else. If I can tear it without messing it up. Okay. We will save this set for something else. All right. All right, the squash are all good to go. We are moving on to the tomatoes, and this one is the sweet pea currant. This one is an indeterminate. I'm going to make sure that I don't sow that many tomato seeds because I don't have a lot of spacing for them, and I don't know why I bought so many indeterminate tomato seeds the past few years. I learned that I loved, like this one's a dwarf. I love the dwarf tomatoes that only get about like 3 feet. Love those. And I really like the micro dwarf tomatoes. And unfortunately, I don't have any micro dwarf tomato seeds. So we'll just grow those next year. But I'll make sure that I'm popping up some type of video clips of how the micro dwarf tomatoes look. Love them. And they always, of course, because they're so tiny, they always are the first plants to give me a harvest. Love it. If you never grown micro dwarf tomatoes, do it. Oh my gosh, you will fall in love. I think I'm going to sow one variety per square, per like slot. It's kind of risky because I might get them mixed up. I said this before many times. I'm not big on thinning. So what I will do is when these are coming up and when it's time to pot them up, I will just tease them apart and pot them up separately. And by doing this, I should be able to save space because it's a lot of seeds to be carrying back and forth in and out of the house all the way back here to the greenhouse. So by doing this, I am going to save time and space, but hopefully I'm not getting things mixed up at the same time. Because it's kind of risky doing it like this. But I guess the worst that can really happen is that I just mislabel, which I guess isn't the biggest deal because, once they start fruiting, you're going to know what it is. And fortunately and unfortunately, all of these are pretty much indeterminate tomatoes. So I'm going to be doing some type of trellising system. I don't even know what I'm doing yet. So it's a risk that I'm going to take because we are running out of space. She's trying to grow everything. It would be nice to have a bigger indoor seed starting setup. Lots of dream talk today. Lots of dreaming. I think it's healthy to share your dreams, to share your vision, to share your thoughts, what's going on in your mind, so people can get a better idea of where you're coming from as a person. And if you don't know by now, Quilenthia is a dreamer. I'm a huge, huge dreamer. And why do these seeds not want to come out of the bag? In order to fuel this vision we have and the dreams and the goals we want to accomplish, it's going to take money. Like everything takes money in this world that we live in. I think we're going to just be saving money and trying to figure out different ways to increase our income. And thankfully, I have Dearest Garden. I have a bachelor's degree. I have a bachelor's degree in business administration. And I graduated with that like a decade ago. What? That's so crazy. In 2015. And I've been thinking about going back to school to get my master's degree in digital marketing, because Dearest Garden is pretty much like, over the span of this decade, I've just been, I guess, filling my resume with social media management type. I used to work for someone and I was a social media manager. So that's where my mind has been at lately. Just the properties I've been looking at are not cheap. And I think it's just because the housing market has increased, which benefits us on the selling side, benefits us, when we go to sell our house. But when it comes to buying our house, it's like everything is so expensive. So I don't know. It's something I've been thinking about, something that's on my mind. And I'll let y'all know if I finally decide to do that. Because I will have to find a balance between parenting and being a wife and running Dearest Garden and then going back to school for my master's degree. I feel like I'm capable of doing that because my children are getting older. My 12-year-old, I have a 12-year-old now. She just turned 12 on Valentine's Day a few days ago. Oh my gosh, how do I have a 12-year-old? Like, why can't they just stay little babies? Oh, the baby stage when they're like this and you can hold them and they smell like baby. And when I say smell like baby, I mean the pink bottle of Johnson & Johnson baby lotion. That is what I mean when I say smell like baby. Oh my gosh. Y'all, woo. I've had baby fever. So I would also love to learn more in general because it could benefit Dearest Garden. But if y'all know of any remote jobs, part-time, probably part-time, full-time, I think I can balance full-time, remote with Dearest Garden. That's because I've become so much faster at editing. I do one long form video a week, and then I do some short form content. And I post on Instagram. I don't love Instagram though. Ugh, I don't love it. But my Instagram is larger than my YouTube. So I just go with the flow and post on Instagram. I just don't love it. But it would be nice if I could get Dearest Garden to, I'd love to make it to, by the end of the year, be at 50,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. That's probably like a dream goal. I mean, it's possible, but that's one of the reasons why I think I want to utilize more of my skills in a different way. Just because with YouTube, having a YouTube channel, you're at the whim of views. You're at the whim of, maybe you get a sponsorship, maybe you won't get a sponsorship. I don't know. I don't want to call it gambling. It's more of an investment. So all these videos I'm curating for Dearest Garden is an investment. I've seen the benefits of that investment, but I also want to just invest in something else also. I don't even know if I'm making any sense, y'all. Am I making sense? Dearest Garden is a long-term investment because it takes a while. Well, for me anyway. I know some people who can start a YouTube channel and blow up in the same year, and you know, they have a full-time income from it. But in my case, that hasn't happened, and that's completely fine. I definitely lost some seeds. And this pen. Oh, I'm gonna just stick this pen in my hair. Okay. We're getting through it. We are getting through it. Wow, I've never did one seed per slot. I don't know how this is gonna turn out, y'all. I don't even know. We gonna see. We probably gonna be, look, I was just looking for my pen, y'all, and y'all saw me just put this in my hair. My gosh, I'm a mess. All right, Golden Jubilee. If you are watching all the way to the end, thank you, because you are supporting all those dreams and goals that we just talked about. So thank you so much. Thank you. All right, I only have 2 seed packets left, but look at us. We're starting seeds. We're sharing our thoughts. This is a vulnerable year for me. Oh my gosh. I know some of y'all came into this channel with me just not talking and just silent gardening and the music. And I love those videos. My last video, that's my last video. Y'all go watch that video. And I love those. But I'm liking the sharing. I'm liking this vulnerability that I have and just being honest. And so y'all know what's on my mind. You know, when you see me, when you come visit me, when y'all come visit Dearest Garden, y'all can see what I'm working towards. And this is our last tomato. Oops. Y'all, I'm done. I did it. And man, that stretch felt good. Oh my gosh. We got our tomatoes, we got our cucumbers, we got our squash planted, and we planted marigolds. Woohoo! Oh, and everything fits into this tray. Perfect. I did not use this at all, but I'm gonna save it because I do want to get a head start on my little cut flower area. Man, if you watch this whole video, oh my gosh, I know this video is gonna be pushing I don't know, maybe 40 minutes, because I just been yapping and yapping and yapping. I feel good about it. Y'all let me know if y'all like this dream talk video, this chatty seed starting session in the greenhouse. And it is almost time for my children to start coming home off the bus. So I'm going to go prepare for that. Check on OJ. OJ's still with me, by the way. He's doing quite well. He's had a few vet visits. I gotta take him back to the vet. But other than that, he's doing pretty well. He's doing good. I feel like he's settling in really good. We're starting to see his personality. Before, he was retreating a lot, like really reserved, wouldn't eat that much. But now he's eating. He's exploring the house more. He's following us around the house, which is great. That is all for this video. Y'all let me know how you felt about it. Let me know if you liked the dream talk. Let me know. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Trusting your instincts, realize that no